How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review. And today we're going to be doing, I guess we're doing a pumpkin beer. It's October. It's a couple days away from Halloween, so why not do a pumpkin beer? But this is probably a pumpkin beer in the loosest sense of the term. It is Avery's PumpKYn, which is a porter brewed with pumpkin and spices aged in bourbon barrels. So, I've never had it before, but what I've heard of it, it's quite good. I'm really curious to see what kind of pumpkin there is in it, since it is just a super huge beer. You're talking about a pumpkin beer that's aged in bourbon barrels that is 17.22%. So it's a little bit more than your regular pumpkin beer. So a lot of Avery's higher ABV offerings I'm just gush over. This is a porter, but they're stout, the Uncle Jacob's Stout, and all their Devil series are like the Mephistopheles and Samuel and the Beast and stuff like that. Just really, really good stuff. So I'm super excited to dive into it. As far as what it says on the label up top here, nice foil top, Avery Brewing Company, Boulder, Colorado. Avery Brewing Company Annual Barrel Series, batch number 1. PumpKYn, it's pump with a parenthesis or KY parenthesis. It's not a parenthesis, I forget what it's called. And so the KI is pretty much standing out, i.e. for Kentucky Bourbon Barrels. So pretty cool, little kitschy way to do it. Bourbon brewed with pumpkin and spices, aged in bourbon barrels. Alcohol 17.22%, bottled September 12, 2014. So it's about a month and a half old. And on the side here, it says, brewed bottled by Avery Brewing Company, Boulder, Colorado. What's in a name? Sometimes the simplest can be the most descriptive. And in this case, derisive and diverse. Divisive. Well, yeah, butchered that one. After much internal debate, ad nauseum, bourbon KY, anyone, we decided a single letter change was the best way to embody a bourbon barrel aging that adds layers of complexity to already exquisite spiced pumpkin porter. Brewed with Rocky Mountain water, malted barley, flaked oats, pumpkin, nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice, cloves, hops, and yeast. So your atypical stuff when it comes to pumpkin beer. Sir, 45 to 55, this is 52, should be about perfect, so yeah. Label-wise, I dig it. I really do dig the pumpkin with the KY for the bourbon barrel. It just makes so much sense. Design-wise, the label's really cool. All their barrel-aged stuff is pretty similar, but Avery's labeling in general is pretty good, and you can never go wrong with foil top. So, but like I always say, proof is what's on the inside. So let's see what we got going on in this sucker. There ain't gonna be nothing in there. I can tell just by pouring it. It's the tiniest bit of yeast cake on the bottom, if anything. Did have a nice 2-finger head when I first poured it. Super tiny bubbles, uber creaminess on top. A little bit darker than beige head. Seems to be receding quite nicely. The fact that it has that size of head, combined with it's still there and retaining even after about 30 seconds to a minute, and it's 17.2%, is kind of impressive in itself. Usually when you get something at that high ABV, that is barrel aged, which pretty much has to be barrel aged to get that high. It's just amazing that it even has head. I expect there to be nothing there. So anyway, that's it head-wise. Color-wise, it is brown as brown could be. It definitely looks like a porter when I poured it as opposed to a stout. It had that bit of less density, less syrupy, and nice brownness to it as opposed to almost a jet blackness. So yeah, see what she has on the nose. You can smell the spices there. You can smell the spices. You can smell the pumpkin. You can smell the nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, the whole 9. That is amazing. For something that high ABV, I expected to just be a bourbon bomb. And it's just a really, for how big it is, it's a gentle nose. It's there. It's nice, but it smells like a nice, robust, malty pumpkin beer. It's not like overt in one sense or the other, which is just boggling my mind. But hey, it's a good thing. So yeah, pumpkin, your typical spices, nice sweetness to it. Just a little bit of bourbon, but really not that much. It's really, really unique. Not the smells, because I've smelled those notes before. It's the fact that it's 17%, and that's what it's delivering. Oof, I'm going to dive right in there. Cheers. Definitely get the bourbon in the mouth, though. The booziness is there. Burns a little bit, but not too bad. I mean, you know, a month and a half old. If you let that sit for about 6 months, it'd probably be wheelhouse. 6 months to a year. All those pumpkin beer spices are there. Pumpkin, nutmeg, clove, cinnamon. Your allspice. They're there. But it is being slightly overpowered by the booziness, the heat. That burns a little bit. I mean, poop. It's a 17% beer. That's a month old. You know, it's supposed to be. I mean, if you couldn't taste it at that age, then they're making something up that nobody else knows what to do. So, plus it tells you. You know what I mean? You're drinking a high ABV beer, so watch yourself. But it's really nice. Sweet, almost overly sweet, but I like it sweet. So it's not overly sweet for me. Some people who like malty beers but don't like them too sweet, it might be a little bit too much for you. The bourbon's there more in sweetness than in bourbon taste, but the alcohol is there from the high ABV, so it's kind of weird in that aspect that it's not like a in-your-face bourbon. Like I said, it's there in the sweetness, which is not in your face in your taste, but the booziness is there. Like I said, all the pumpkin notes are there, which is really nice. And it is a porter. I expected it to be more stouty. It is a porter. It's got that nice, it's kind of bizarre to say with being 17% and then booziness. It's got this fluffiness and this lightness, this kind of thinness to it. In a good way. It's not a stout, it's a porter. It's what they say it is, which is always a bonus. But yeah, just that booziness and just that sweetness. It's almost too sweet for me, which is an impossible thing typically for beers. They've only had one beer that was ridiculous sweet to where I didn't even want to drink it, which was a Cigar City warmer winter. That was like eating pure sugar, and I couldn't really deal with it. Creme brulee is kind of up there from Southern Tier. This is kind of pushing up to those guys, but it's just the hair's notch below that. But yeah. Really nice. I mean, if you're a pumpkin beer fan, and you like your darker ones, your stouts, your imperial stouts, your porters with your pumpkin spices, and you want something high ABV, and you like barrel-aged stuff, I mean, you're never going to go wrong with anything from Avery. I mean, their high ABV beers, their barrel aging program is just probably one of the top notches, top 10 if not top 5 in the country. It's a fantastic beer. My suggestion would be let it sit. You know, let it sit, especially if it's, like for me, a month and a half old. 6 to 12 months plus in this would probably just make this infinitely better. Stellar. It would knock down, level out that sweetness a little bit, dial back that booziness. And with the spices the way they are, I don't think you're going to lose them all that much. So, to me, it's a great beer, and it's something I would pick up whenever I find it. But it definitely could do with a little bit of time. Rating-wise, give it like a 93. That's how good of a beer it is. It sounds like I'm kind of being negative on it, but it's that good of a beer. With time, it's probably going to be in the mid to high 90s. So it's that good of a beer. I'll give it a 93 for what it is right now. Value-wise, I didn't get it. A friend got it for me, but I think he got it for $18 for a bottle. $18 for a 12-ounce bottle. You know, It's that good. It's really good beer, but I mean that's pushing it price wise. So I'm gonna have to give it like a 4 on a value scale. And availability, I can't get it in this area. I've never seen it in this area. Like I said, a friend shuttled it up from Jersey, so I'll give it an NA as far as availability, or 1. You know what I mean? Especially in northeastern Pennsylvania, Jersey, you can get them. So yeah, so 93 overall. What did I give it? Like a 4 or 5 on a value scale, and 1 on availability. But yeah, Avery Brewing's PumpKYn with a KY. Porter brewed with pumpkin spices, aged in bourbon barrels. Really nice beer. If you're into the styles, if you're into stouts and porters and pumpkin beers, and you like barrel aged stuff, and you like good beer, definitely worth a whirl. So, another review in the books. Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. If you did or you didn't, or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you'd like to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Massive Beers. And all those places. Way more active on Instagram, so if you're going to check us out anywhere, check us out there. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a great beer right now, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers.